Okay, here we go. Another phenomenal saxophone. This is what put Yamaha on the map in the saxophone world. The 61 was a pretty cool horn, but they completely went back to the blackboard when they came out with the 62. They designed a different style of metal treatment where they anneal the metal. They actually make the brass and then they heat it and cool it and heat it and cool it, like they're making a Conan sword or something like that. And it just basically frees up the whole metal, so it just responds like crazy. So this is what they call their purple, where's my other one, purple logo series, the first series, and that seems to be the one everybody wants. I've got some guys up in the Bay Area, and that's all they say, purple logo, purple logo. And I have friends of mine that bought these in the early 80s, and they're still playing them. And they're still playing them professionally. I've been around the world a couple times with them and play with some of the biggest groups around and playing their 62. And it's just their main acts. So it kind of put a lot of Selmers into the closet or onto eBay or whatever. So again, this horn's around 40 years old. And the condition, I've been importing these straight from Japan. And it's getting harder and harder because they keep on charging in more and more tax on them, and the shipping's going up. So who knows if I get another one. But, check out the bell. You can see one little ding right there. I mean, somebody could probably take that out, but I'm not going to attempt it. So, and the purple logo's in nice shape. Just a hair of a wear on the logo. But pretty cool for the age. Usually it's just gone because it is silk screened on as opposed to being engraved like on the later models. So where they usually get it is down the side of the bell, down the side of the body, and it's just crazy. And at the very bottom. And it looks like there's a little scuffing down there, but not too bad at all. And then down the side of the body, and right around the strap loop, of course, there's a couple little scratches around there. So it was played, but I don't think it was played very much because the springs feel like a brand new saxophone. I mean, it's stiffer than most of the 62s from this era I've played because they've been played in more. So we can either lighten up the springs or just play it and break it in yourself. So again, the bell's in great shape, just one little ding. The other thing is about every other neck that comes in has been pulled down or dented or destroyed in some form. I just sent a horn back and they said, oh yeah, it includes the neck. And I got the neck and it's down about 45 degrees and just, could have repaired it, but been easier to buy a new one. So again, the neck's in really nice shape. The lacquer is probably, 98%. Again, hardly anything's worn through. It's just some scratches on it here and there. Just a little wear through on the thumb where you hit it all the time. But the pads look like new. I think it's been overhauled. A lot of these, they're overhauling them and then ship them out. And so really, really, really clean for this age of an instrument. I get instruments, a couple years old and they're more beat up than this. So even like down on the side, it's just really clean down on the side of the bell. And again, the back side. I've had them where they're just absolutely flattened on the bottom. We're doing this girl's right now where she dropped it and the whole bell's off to one side. Bell's pushed into the body, bell's pushed into the bell, braces pushed into the body, the braces pushed into the bell, and just a mess and just a huge repair. So in this era, they were still using the real mother pearls instead of the plastic like on the current ones, which is kind of cool. They give it a real nice feel and nice aesthetics. So again, just a couple little minor scratches on it, but again, for the age, just in crazy condition. And this seems to be one, and I've got the newer one, if you want to compare it to almost a virtually brand new one, and the sound isn't quite the same. They play great, and they all play great, but there's something just magical about the metal they were using at this particular era. And again, it's just the buzzword in the Yamaha world. This one's number 7537, so just a 4-digit number, so it's a fairly early one. 7537, their serial numbers are just absolutely useless as far as dating, and I just basically date them by the features. So they made them in the 80s. The 90s, basically the same saxophone, but they engraved it on the bell, maybe some changes, and then in the 2000s they came out with the Series 2 and all that stuff. And now they're making a Series 3, and again, just minute details. The main difference is in the necks. There's like 15 different necks you can put on here, and I've got a V1, I've got a M1, all these different necks. But this neck it just sounds wonderful. So anyhow, down to the good stuff. I mean, I'd put this up just about anything. It goes right down to that B flat, no problem. I find that D is stuffy on a lot of horns. We just went through a guy's horn, got a brand new saxophone. The D was just stuffy like crazy, so I opened the low C all the way up. And this C is not even hardly open, but it's still a nice big... I've heard saxophones where you hit that second octave D and it sounds like somebody threw a rabbit down the bell. It just completely changes the timbre, and this one's really good. So one of the first models where they actually brought the palm keys out to the palm, of course now everybody's copying it. The front F is just right there. You know, on the old Selmers, you're jumping up to that front F key. This is just basically a roll of the knuckle. The side F sharp and the high F sharp are just, I mean, they fill up that whole area, so it's almost impossible to miss. The old ones just had a little button here, and you had to kind of, feel around for it. And these are nice, big, fat spatulas. Little flips on the low C and low E flat keys, and the same thing on the low B flat key. So you kind of just fall right into them. An adjustment screw for every action on the saxophone, which is kind of rare. So you can go through this thing, tune it up in a fraction of the time. No adding corks, no sanding corks. It's just a little turn of the screw as you go down the stack, and adjust in a minute. So every interaction on the bottom and the top and in the middle all have an adjustment screw. Of course, the tone hole heights are adjustable on the key guards. So beautiful engraving all the way down the bell. They did a good job on this. If you go to YouTube, there's actually a video of the guy at Yamaha doing the engraving, and it's just amazing how fast and how beautiful they do it in such a short time. So anyhow. I just noticed I got a big chunk out of my reed, but I didn't want to go through a whole finding a good reed process, so we're just getting along with this one. Alright, so we're going to play a little tune and call it quits. Also, the original case in beautiful shape, and here's the original owner's manual, original strap, original polish cloth, original end plug. I've got the original 4C mouthpiece if needed, and then just incredible. It's got the original ligature, and the case there's hardly a nick on the case. I mean, it's that old ox blood red, I call it, case, and they're usually destroyed. Usually the corners are all smashed and broken off, and again, the case is just in wonderful shape, which is pretty rare. Again, usually thrown into trucks and everything. All right, so we got to move along here, and we're going to play this and see if we can get through the whole thing. Come back.
Bye.